good morning, good afternoon, and a very good evening to you. For good and wonderful people, tube. Hope was today everything grand and always when your world. Hello there, everybody. What a bit A&Q Wednesday, everybody. Before we get started and get question one today, if you want to submit a question for A&Q Wednesday, description box below, email me there. There is an email link, email me there. I'm jumping ahead of the game today. It's too hot and I can't think straight. Anyway, moving along. Well, it's too hot, but I don't feel the heat. Let's put it that way. Like, I can tell it's really hot, but I can't actually feel it. But it still has an effect on me. It's very weird. Anyway, let's get to question one, shall we? So question one's quite a difficult one to answer. And I don't want to go too much into the ins and outs of it because, again, just because something doesn't work for me doesn't mean it won't work for somebody else. So question one today is this. I saw the other week that JFX Pedals was sending you their Empyrean pedal. Was just wondering if you'd received it, and if so, will you be doing a review of it? Yes, JFX Pedals very, very, very kindly sent me their Empyrean pedal, but no, I will not be doing a review on it. I actually sent the thing back very quickly. I don't want to go into too many details because, like I say, it just didn't work for me. I didn't like it. And as a result of that, I wasn't about to do a review on it because I just didn't. I don't do reviews on things that I just don't get on with and don't like. I don't want to do like a video of just basically you watching me kind of go, meh, well, that sounds okay. It doesn't do anybody any good. And the thing is as well, there's plenty of people out there reviews on the Empyrean pedal and they really like it. So there's plenty of videos out there on that thing. It doesn't necessarily need my thing. But yeah, I just didn't get on with it. I didn't really like the way it was at all. It just didn't do anything for me personally. And so as a result of that, I messaged the guy who builds them and just said, look, I'm not going to be reviewing this pedal. I'll send it back to you. And that's it, really. So, very, very, very massive thanks to JFX Pedals for sending me the pedal to try. But again, like I say, not everything works out. You can't always win. And, you can't... Not everything that you play through will take your pickle. It just doesn't work that way. Sometimes, things come along and you're like, wow, that's amazing. And sometimes things come along and you're like, nah, not interested. And unfortunately, the Empyrean pedal was not interested. I won't be doing a review on it, and I don't really want to talk too much about that personally. I don't, because there's people out there who do love that pedal. So, but again, for me, it just didn't work out. Didn't like it. Didn't work. That's basically where that is really. So, but again, like I say, that happens. I've been sent plenty of things in my time here on YouTube, and a lot of them, quite a few things you haven't seen and have been sent back because it just I can't demo that. I don't want people to see me playing through something I can't stand behind. You know what I mean? Like when I demo the katana, or I demo a pedal or a guitar or whatever, it's because it works and I love it and it's great. But if something comes along to me that I don't like, invariably you'll never see it, or I'll get rid of it, I'll send it back, or I'll give it away, or whatever, whatever happens really. But because I don't want, like I say, if I can't stand behind something, I don't want my name attached to it, because I'm just kidding you, and I can't do that. I'm not gonna do that. I'm not about to say this is amazing when it definitely isn't. You know what I mean? If I get a thing and I'm just like, well, I don't like it, I will always say, if you want to go out and try it, go out and try it yourself, definitely, because it might work for you. But from my perspective, if I can't get on with something, I'm not about to do a review on it or spend my time trying to get something out of it that I know I don't like. It just seems a bit kind of pointless and it'd be just disingenuous, and that's not what I'm here for. I'm here to be honest, and I'm here to kind of spread the positive nature of music, not the negative thing of it. And if I don't like something, I'd just prefer not to show you. I know there's lots of channels out there who they get a bit of a kick out of kind of like doing negative reviews on stuff, and people like watching people rip into products and say this is rubbish and this that, and the other. But I don't want to do that. I'm not interested in that. Because again, I believe totally in the fact of just because something doesn't work for you doesn't mean it's not going to work for somebody else. You know, so the Empyrean pedal, as an example, didn't work for me at all. You know, quite a few other pedals that I've been sent, guitars and amps that I've been sent in the past haven't worked for me either. But there are plenty of people out there who love these things. So that just goes to show, you know, you can only ever do things from your perspective, if that makes any sense. So the Empyrean pedal was something that kind of like, you know, is just no, I won't be doing a video on that ever. But there are plenty of reviews out there, and again, that's just it is what it is really. So yeah, I don't really go much more further into that one, if that makes any sense. So anyway, I hope it's answered your question. I'm going to move on to question 2 now. So question 2 today is I love this. Probably the most important question I'll ever ask me is, are you okay? Yes, I am. Thank you very much indeed for asking. And I fire that question back to all of you people with YouTube. Are you okay? Let us know in the comments section below if you're okay. And if not, why not? We're all happy family community here. We can all help each other through if you're feeling a bit down or things aren't going right. You know, I'm sure there'll be somebody here. You know, we can all get on and make you happy again. So yeah, but yeah, it's good to be okay. Okay, so question 3. Have you ever had an epiphany moment learning guitar? Not necessarily learning something new, but suddenly the pieces all come together in your head. Yes, many. Loads of epiphany moments I've had on the guitar. Loads of moments where I'm just like, oh my god. It's like someone opens the door and the light just comes streaming in and you're just like, oh, the choir sings and all of a sudden the world is a great place. It's really cool to have those moments. I really like those moments. The biggest epiphany moment I ever had was when I just understood the guitar neck. I spent a long time just kind of going up and down each string, finding what notes work in one key. So I learned everything in the key of E, and finding what notes work and what notes don't, and what I like and what I don't like. And then once I had these kind of like, you know, these runs and these shapes, and I knew what was work, and it was literally, as soon as I figured that out, it was literally like a door swung wide open. And it's never closed. You know, it doesn't need to close. Basically, it blew the door off the hinges, basically. There isn't a door left. And the light came streaming in, and all is well. But yeah, epiphany moments are great. I love them. There's just those moments where you're just like, ah! And I get it. You get it all the time if you're open to it. Like, you know, I got one last night when I was playing. I was messing around with some songs I want to record soon if I get a chance. And there's this song I want to record. It's dark, and, you know, like all my music is. But in the verse, I was like wondering what to do and how to do it, and I had this epiphany moment last night. I was just playing on acoustic guitar, and I started mimicking the vocal melody with the guitar, and it just worked. And it was one of those moments where I was like, ah, there we go. That's what the song wants. That's what music wants of that song, and that's what it's going to be. So it's just, I love that. I love moments like that. You can't beat epiphany moments. So yeah, I had plenty of epiphany moments on the guitar, and I'm sure that won't be the last one. You know, they're ace. They're just ace. I love epiphany moments. They are so cool. Anyway, but yeah, I do get those. People with a tube, what's your epiphany moments? Let us know. Comment section below. Always like to hear your comments and stuff. So, like I say, we're all family here. We can all talk and communicate down in the comment section below freely. So go for it. So yeah, tons of epiphany moments. But I'd say that's definitely the biggest. It was amazing. I can still remember that. I still remember exactly. I know where I was sat. I know exactly. You know, it was nighttime. It was dark. I was sat on my white Strat, and I was sat like this, like I always am. I like sitting on the floor, and literally, it was amazing. It was like it was akin to being shut up in a room your entire life, and then all of a sudden one day someone opens the door and you can just walk out, and then you are free. And literally since that moment, you know, things have just been so. It's just been it just needed that first door to fall off its hinges. We've got to kick it off its hinges, and away we went. So yeah, I hope that's the question. I'm going to move on to question. I've lost count because I can't count. 4 now. Moving on to question 4. People with a dream. What happened to my voice? Anyway, there's multiple parts to question 4, so in the description box below in the timestamp I'll just put the first one. but there is multiple parts to question 4. So, have you question 4, part 1. Have you ever played the Orange Micro Terror, and what do you make of it? Yeah, I've got a video on it, and it was my backup amp for quite a long time. But yeah, I think I've got a few videos on the Micro Terror, to be honest with you, on this channel. They're way back when. That was like 2015, 2014. But I really like the Micro Terror. I thought it was a great little thing. It sounded great. You know, it was great. You know, I eventually sold mine because I just wasn't. It just kind of fell out of favour, and eventually I just didn't really need it anymore. And so I sold it, but I still stand by the fact that I love that thing. It's an amazing little thing. I'd possibly look to own one again in the future because I think they are really cool and they are fun. They are fun. They're not really good enough live. Trust me. Been there, tried it. Doesn't really work. But for home use and for recording and stuff like that, they're really good fun. They are really cool. So part 2 of question 4 is, which model of the Boss Katana do you most prefer and why? Any of them. If it says Boss Katana on it, I'll have it. You know, I really don't have a favourite. I do prefer the features of the artist. The artist is like my dream amp, but I'm just as happy going into the 100 or the 50 or even the Mini for that matter. You know, I don't really have a preference on which one's the best or which one's my favourite, shall I say. They're all amazing. If it says Boss Katana on it, that's what goes on. I don't really have a favourite. So, question 4, part 3 is, what was your first guitar? My first guitar was a Washburn Maverick series, which I still have. And again, I have videos on this guitar as well. It appears quite a few times actually on this channel. But yeah, it was a Washburn Maverick series, 3/4 style guitar, absolutely amazing in cherry burst. Fantastic little guitar, amazing guitar, and I will never part with it, ever. Yeah, just stunning. I don't really know what else to say. Like I said, I do have videos on that guitar. Question 4, part 5 is, what was your first amp? My first amp was a PV Rage, and I have that as well. Funny enough, I haven't done a video on that one, people of the tube, yet. I think I did a video called Where I Started, or something like that, I don't know. It was a long time ago. But I did a video where you can see me playing through the PV Rage, my first amp on my first guitar. But I haven't really done a video on the PV Rage. And I think the PV Rage is a brilliant amp that kind of gets overlooked. It's part of a Transtube series. It's the PV Rage 158. And it's literally amazing. It literally is amazing. People of the tube, would you like to see a video on the PV Rage 158? Let me know in the comment section below. Because I'd be curious. Because I think it's great. I really do. For just plugging straight into or running pedals through it takes everything really well. It's like all that Red Stripe PV stuff is bulletproof. It really is. So yeah, I mean, if you want to see a video on it, let me know. But that was my first amp, PV Rage 158, little 15-watt practice amp, 2 channels, amazing. No reverb on it, but that doesn't really matter. Okay, so question 4, part 6. Do you still play and think your first amp, guitar, pedals are good? Yes, I do, like I just said. My first guitar is great. The first amp, my PV Rage, was great. And the first pedal I ever bought was the Marshall Jackhammer. And yeah, that is great as well. All 3 things, in my opinion, are brilliant. You know, you can't go wrong with a PV Rage, you can't go wrong with a Washburn Maverick series, and you can't go wrong with a Jackhammer. You know, they're just amazing. I remember getting the Jackhammer. It was an absolute epiphany for me. Another epiphany. To be able to go from clean to distortion just by pressing on this thing that's on the floor. And that was the first year of me playing guitar. So that would have been December of 2002. That would have been. So I'd have been playing, May, June, July, August. So I'd have been playing 7 months when I got my first pedal. And like I say, it was just this amazing. I was like, oh my god, if I set this that way and I set my amp clean, I can then tip that to get distortion, and then I can turn it off and get clean. That is amazing. That is so cool. And again, it sounds weird, but you see, the thing was, PeopleTube, I had no one around me to tell me about this kind of stuff. No one in my circle of friends or my family could tell me about like turning pedals or learn to do this, learn to do that. I didn't have any guitar teachers or anybody like that around to tell me. I learned all this stuff through doing it, through experience. And I remember it was just this most amazing moment to be able to hit a pedal and just get that distortion out. And again, to be honest, that's kind of stuck because I still prefer the sound of pedals over plugging into an amp. I love plugging into amps and getting distortion from amps, but I just prefer distortion from pedals. I just prefer pedals, really. Like I say, I always run my amps clean and they're there for power, the pedals are there for tone. And again, that way, like I say, I'm never left wanting if I have to turn up to a gig and they don't have my favourite amp. It doesn't matter. I don't care what I plug into. In all fairness, I don't really care what I plug into anyway, even if I don't have pedals. But if I have my pedal board, I'm happy. You know what I mean? Or even if I've just got like a couple of pedals that I love into any amp, I'm happy. But yeah, I still think, like say, the jackhammer, the golden plexi, the jackhammer. It's because that comes up so often. The jackhammer, the PV Rage, and the Washburn Maverick series are still an amazing little setup. And maybe in that video, I'll demo that setup, and that's where I started. I got a Zoom 606 after a couple of months. I don't know how long it'd be. A couple of months after I got my jackhammer, I got this Zoom 606 multi-effects unit. Because I really wanted a wah-wah pedal. Because I wanted to be Slash. So I really wanted a wah-wah pedal. And I remember, we got this multi-effects unit, the 606, because it had wahs, distortions, delays. And then came delay. Then came reverb. And then came whammy. And all these other things. And again, all this experience and all these epiphanies going, oh, I can do this. Oh, I can do that. Oh, I can do this. It was amazing. I've loved every second and still love every second of learning to play the guitar. It's literally the best thing I've ever done in my life, and it's amazing. I love it to bits every day. Every day I love it more and more and more. I really do, and that's never changed. But yeah, so I still love it. I don't think there's anything in that. Yeah, even if I had to go to a gig with my PV Rage Washburn Maverick series and my jackhammer, I'd be quite happy. I really would. I don't think I'd miss much. Apart from a wah-wah pedal, obviously. But I would be very happy to do it if the PV Rage was loud enough. Sadly, it isn't. But if it was just a jam session at somebody's house and that was the amp that I had to take, then yeah, I'd be very happy. Very happy. Okay, so we're going to move on to part 7 of question 4. What would you recommend for beginners today regarding amp, guitar, and pedal? Well, people with YouTube, can you guess which amp I would recommend to beginners? I bet you can't. Yes, that's correct, everybody. I heard you. It is the Boss Katana. Also, I really tried the Line 6 Catalyst. I need to get one at some point. I might have got one by this time. I don't know. By the time this video goes out, I might have one, but I don't know at this point in time. Money is not exactly plentiful right now, but yeah, Boss Katana, you can't go wrong. As for guitars, you've got Jet guitars, you've got Squire Bullets, you've got Revelation, you've got there's all sorts. Excuse me. SX, crumbs by me. I mean, there's so many amazing cheap guitars out there now that are all good. You know what I mean? The guitars these days are amazing. But yeah, so like Boss Katana, any of those for guitar wise, pedal wise, I mean, there's tons of them as well. You can get a multi effects unit from Zoom, or you could go out and get some of the Tone City pedals, which are some of my favourite pedals ever made. I rave about the Tone City pedals. I think they're fantastic, and the value for money is out of this world. And they're not going to break the bank, they're not going to go absolutely mental and destroy your bank account. Like I say, there's multi-effects units, there's single pedals. We are spoilt, people of the tube, for stuff right now. There is just so much stuff out there for good prices that we can all go out and enjoy it, and they all sound great as well. There's nothing really wrong with any of this stuff. I mean, in all fairness, you can get a Boss Katana, the K-switch, the foot switch, and like a Squire Strat, and that's your lot. You don't need anything else, because the Katana's got it all built in. It's crazy. and all the effects in the guitar are amazing, you know, and the amp sounds stunning. And it's got all these other features like headphones in and auxiliary in and line outs and record outs and, you know, great speakers and just, oh my God. Golden age of gear, people of the tube. It really is. Unfortunately, some of it is rather far too expensive, but we're not going to go there because there's plenty of affordable stuff. It's nice to have some expensive stuff, it really is, but unfortunately, you know, like I say, money is not plentiful for quite a lot of us in this day and age. But yeah, so yeah, guitar-wise, amps, pedals, you know, the world is your oyster. It really is. There's so many things. Nuex do amazing pedals. There's another company. You know, there's so much out there. So, part 8 of question 4 is: Are you a fan of Neil Young? Yes. Part 9 is: What's the best gig you've ever been to? There's a few. The best sounding gig I've ever been to was Tool. I went to see Tool this year in May, and literally I've never heard a live band in a stadium sound that good in my life. Not even the Chili Peppers, not Pearl Jam, not any of these other bands I've been to see, Metallica. They sounded perfect. They really did. It was unreal. It wasn't too loud, nothing was thumpy, you weren't getting smashed in the chest by the bass drum or low frequencies. It was just perfect. Whoever that sound guy they had, who Tool has, is a genius. Absolutely nailed it. The Chili Peppers didn't sound anywhere near that good at Hyde Park or Don Valley. They didn't. Yeah, they sounded good, but they didn't sound that good. But Tool, my God, they sounded amazing. But I've been to too many amazing gigs to say, oh, that's the one that's the best. Because I say Hyde Park Chili Peppers was amazing. Don Valley Chili Peppers was amazing. Pearl Jam at the MEN Arena in Manchester was amazing. Metallica was amazing. Tool, amazing. I missed Rammstein because I was ill. Still very bitter about that. But yeah, so there's loads. There's loads of gigs. Rise Against. Muse. I saw Muse in 2004. Yeah, 2004. I saw Muse in 2004 at Nottingham Ice Arena for 15 quid, which is ridiculous. Who else? I mean, there's tons of bands I've been to see. Darkness. The Darkness were amazing live. Darkness would probably... When I saw the Darkness at Rock City, they're up there as one of the best live bands I've ever seen. And again, they sounded stunning as well, but they were so good. The Darkness were amazing. I'm a massive fan of the Darkness. I love them. I remember buying Permission to Land. But I couldn't buy Permission to Land. I had to get my mum to buy it because it had explicit lyric sticker on it. So I couldn't buy it. I had to get my mum to buy it for me. But I remember getting Permission to Land and just literally like, whoa, I loved it. But yeah, amazing. Weird thing happened actually, people tube, with Darkness. I don't remember when it was. Nope, I can't remember when it was. I literally don't remember what year it was now. But I went to the recording studio where the Darkness were recording Permission to Land. It's called Chapel Studios. It's literally about 35 minutes drive from here, where I am now. And it's a very legendary studio, Chapel Studios. Paul Wells recorded there, so the Darkness recorded there. Loads of people have done sessions there. And I this guy who I knew at the time got us to kind of like have a bit of a walk around, so we got to see the live area and like the living area. And funnily enough, we went into the live area and there was like, you know, there was Marshall amps set up, Marshall plexes, and then there was a Mesa Boogie, and then there was all sorts of stuff. And we were just like, who's the band you got into at this point in time? The guy who was walking us around said, they're an unknown band at this point in time. They're called The Darkness. And I was like, oh, interesting. And so when it came out, like Permission to Land came out, I was like, I saw their gear. I saw where they were recording. Anyway, weird, random tangent there, people too. But yeah, it is what it is. Okay, so last part of question 4 is, what would be your desert island albums? Oh, crikey. Electric Ladyland by Jimi Hendrix. 10 by Pearl Jam, Inside of Emptiness by John Frusciante, Californication by Chili Peppers, and they said Stadium Arcadium, but I had a change of thought. There'd be quite a lot. If there was no limit on this, there'd be quite a lot of albums. Candlebox, Soundgarden, Bad Motor Finger, Nirvana, Nevermind, Free, Fire and Water, Rory Gallagher, Photo Finish. Who else? Then Play On by Fleetwood Mac. End of the Game by Peter Green. You know, there'd be a lot. It'd be a lot. I wouldn't be left wanting. If I was on a desert island with, like, you know, a CD/record player or whatever, and I had the albums that I wanted, I wouldn't be left wanting, let's put it that way. I'd be very, very happy. People of the Tube, this question goes to you. So, what would your desert island albums be? Let us know in the comment section below. So, okay, going to move on to final question of the day now. People do question 5. So, question 5 today is, if my phone works, what do you consider the advantages and disadvantages of a Fender Strat and the Gibson Les Paul? What do you like and dislike about each model? What do I like about the Strat over the Les Paul is the Strat's got comfort cuts. The Les Paul, I find, can be a little bit uncomfortable sometimes. And I don't like to have blocky guitars. I love Les Pauls. You know, the Les Pauls are one of my favourite guitars of all time. But I just find them a bit too kind of blocky. It's the same problem I have with Telecasters. Strats are just perfect for me. They really are. The disadvantages of a Strat. I mean, that's a very hard question to ask a Strataholic. Because the Strat's just perfect for me. Can I class the 5-way selector as a disadvantage? Not really. I don't like 5-way selectors. I like the 3-way. I don't like position 2 and I don't like position 4. They actually physically aggravate me. That sound does. If I use it, it drives me mental. If I accidentally flick into it, I really don't like those sounds. But it's hard for me to pick a disadvantage of a Stratocaster because I love them so much. Like I say, I've always said, like, you know, it sounds a bit silly to say, but I've always felt like the Strat, it feels like it's made for me. It's just perfect, you know, the way it fits me, the way I can play it. They're just amazing, you know. They are just perfect for me. And the thing is as well, it's like I don't really see disadvantages of this in a Stratocaster because they're easy to modify, they're easy to repair. They're easy to get different parts for. They're easy to customize. If the neck breaks, you can put a new neck on it. If the scratch plate breaks, you can get a new scratch plate. If the pickups breaks, you can get them in there. New tremolo. Everything's really interchangeable. I mean, that's what Leo Fender designed the Strat to be anyway. It's a parts bin. You know, it's like, you know, if we put this on here, that's on here. And it's just functionally perfect in my opinion. And they sound just perfect as well. There's just something about the Stratocaster sound that is just everything I want in a guitar tone, you know, all the time. It's just there all the time. When I play a different guitar, which I do often, you know, I love playing different styles of guitar. But every time I come back to the Strat, I'm like, well, there it is. That's it. That's me. You know, there I am. That's the sound I want, you know. And I don't quite have that with Les Paul. I don't quite have that with any other guitar, like a 335 or anything like that. But I still love what other guitars give me. Because, you know, sometimes I don't want to play a Strat. Sometimes I want to play my 335 or a Les Paul or a Telecaster or my Mockingbird or a V or whatever. You know, I don't always want to play Strats. Because variety, you know, is the spice of life. And you want different sounds, and Les Pauls give you different sound. You know, this 335 different sound, and they make you play different as well. So for me to think of disadvantage on a Strat, I can't really think of any because I'm Strat centric. I'm a loony basically when it comes down to Strats. I adore them, you know, massively, and it's just fantastic. They are just fantastic instruments to me. I just can't. I can't rave enough. I can't. It's just incredible. But Disadvantages of Les Paul, like I say, I mean, there's the neck break angle. That's a disadvantage for a Les Paul because you can get broken headstocks, and they're fairly easy to repair sometimes, these broken headstocks, and there's plenty of people out there who can repair them. But I don't like, the headstock angle freaks me out a bit. If things go wrong, they're quite expensive to fix. If a neck twists, you can't just get a new neck. Well, you can, but it's more expensive than just going online and buying a new neck and screwing it into the guitar like you could on a Telecaster or a Strat or a Jaguar or a Jazzmaster or anything like that. You can't redo it at Les Paul. Being a set neck, it's very finicky. Also, wiring them as well it can be a bit fiddly because you've got to get them through the routes and the channels, and they're not as modular. That's the word I want to use. I don't think that's the right word, but that's the word I'm going to use. Like a Strat or a Telecaster, where these things are just so easily interchangeable. Les Paul's a little bit more fiddly, so to say. It's a little bit more involved. But again, that's the point of it. Les Pauls are what they are. Strats are what they are. Telecasters are what they are. It's. I don't really know about this. I mean, I'm not very good at doing good advantages of guitars like that, really, because like I say, the only thing that does freak me out with Les Paul, like I say, is that neck break angle, because I'm a really clumsy person as well. Like it terrifies me, so I'm always super aware and hyper aware when I play my Les Pauls, like, beware of this, don't put it on the ground, because if I'm sat on the floor playing a guitar, if I've got a Strat, I'll just put it on the ground because the headstock never comes into contact with the ground. Whereas on a Les Paul, you got that angle like that, it goes into the ground like that and ramps itself up. So if you accidentally stand on the neck head's done. But yeah, I mean, it's hard to say really. But all guitars have advantages and disadvantages. It just comes down to preference. What you perceive as an advantage or a disadvantage, somebody else could perceive as an advantage or a disadvantage. What I love, somebody else could hate. What they love, I could hate. It's all personal preference really when it comes down to it, people with a tube, and it's all about what you want in an instrument. And for me, like I say, Stratocasters, just love them, perfect. I just don't know what else to say really. I love Les Pauls as well, and the Les Pauls I own, I'm so happy I've got them, and this is one of my favourite guitars, people with a tube, and I have to admit my undying love for this guitar. It's not a Gibson, obviously, it's a Columbus, and it's had a lot of work done to it, this guitar. It really has, to get it right. But because it's right now, my gravy galls, is it amazing guitar. I mean, the action on this thing is fantastic. The neck is fantastic. The pickups are amazing. Like I say, it's an old 70s model. It's a bit, it's an exact copy of a Gibson Walnut 335, and it is actually brown. It's quite hard to get it on camera, but it is actually brown. But in certain lights, it just looks black, but it's actually really, really dark brown. But this guitar is just fantastic. It really is. This is a bottleneck though. It's not a set neck or anything like that, and it's also not braced as well. The only bracing is under the bridge, but it's actually hollow. It's like a 330, so it's like a weird 335, 330 hybrid thing. But it's amazing, and I love it to bits. And again, not a guitar I ever want to really part with. But again, advantages, disadvantages. Its beauty is in the eye of the beholder. It really is. What I say, what one person loves, another won't. And again, that's totally fine. We're not supposed to like everything else. We're not supposed to like everything that everybody else does. We're supposed to like what we like. This is our life. This is our road. This is our path to walk. It's not about kind of like, if you don't like something, you're allowed to say you don't like it. It's not getting to the roots of like, just keeping your mouth shut, because it's like, if you don't like something, then you have to say you don't like it, and that other person who is trying to force something on you has to accept that, because not everyone can love what you love, and and you can't love everything that somebody else loves. It doesn't work that way. That's not the way humans are. We are designed to be ourselves, and as a result of that, we are going to disagree, not like, fall out over certain things. But that's the thing, is like, it's accepting that not everyone can love what you love. And that's fine. It doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter. If somebody doesn't like what you like, but you love it, that's their problem. It's not your problem. Don't make it. I've known plenty of people who have caved, if you will, through pressure to do certain things. Oh, you've got to do this, you've got to do that, you've got to do the other. And they end up being miserable and upset because they can't be who they want to be. And I've always been of a brain pattern of like, well, why don't you just do what you want? Oh, you need to play this because if you don't play that, you're not any good. But I don't want to play that. Well, you're not any good then, are you? In your opinion, maybe. But, I'm doing what I want. It's all down to you, what you want. This is, like I say, this is your life. It's not anybody else's life. You do yours. Do what you want to do. You walk your path. It's your life. Go for it. You're not here long enough to care about what Joe Blogs down the road says or what people think you should be doing or how you're doing it. You're here to get through your life the way you want to do it, and you're here to do the way you want to do it, not listening to other people who tell you should be doing it this way. If you don't want to do it that way, you don't have to. It's all about you. It really is. It's really important to be yourself and be true to you. So anyway, that's enough waffle. So sorry, I think I went off on one there. Hope I made some kind of sense. Anyway, hope you enjoyed this ANQ Wednesday for YouTube. I will see you again on Friday for another vid. What is Friday's vid? I've forgotten. Oh yeah, I'm going to talk about tone, I think. Yes, it is. We're going to be talking about guitar tone and tone evolution, if you will, on Friday. I'm going to do a couple of talky videos this month, people at you, because there's a couple of things I kind of want to natter about and get your opinion on as well. So there's going to be a few little talky videos this month with playing obviously as well. But I kind of want your opinion on a few things and your views on a few things, should I say? I'd like to hear the way you perceive some of the things I'm going to talk about. Because again, no, we're not all the same. And I like the idea of hearing other people's point of views. It's really, really cool. Anyway, so until Friday for YouTube, have a great morning, afternoon, and good evening. And I'll see you again. Have a great morning, afternoon, and good evening. And I'll see you again. Have a great morning, afternoon, and good evening. And I'll see you again. Have a great morning, afternoon, and good evening. And I'll see you again. Have a great morning, afternoon, and good evening. And I'll see you again. Have a great morning, afternoon, and evening. And I'll see you. Bye-bye.